So back in 2015, a YouTuber I used to watch who you might know, Jacksepticeye, played a game that honestly took the spot as my favorite game of all time up until Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018, and that game was Life is Strange. And since then, we've gotten 3 other titles in the series, and I can honestly say I've enjoyed every single one of them. But nevertheless, I wanted to rank the series, so this is just my opinion, and I want to know your list in the comments below. Let's talk Life is Strange. Possible spoilers ahead for all the games, but with all that out the way, let's get into it. At number 4 at the bottom of the list is Life is Strange Before the Storm, taking us back to Arcadia Bay, stepping in the shoes of Chloe Price, our best friend from the original game. Before the Storm serves as a prequel taking place before Max returns to Arcadia Bay, before the storm, and gives us more context on Rachel, the missing girl from LIS-1. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, there's not a bad game in this series, in my opinion, but in terms of story and gameplay, this one just kind of falls behind the others. While the talkback mechanic, or whatever you call it, is fun and playing D&D was just badass, it doesn't quite have as much of a punch as the other titles in the series, but it still has a very emotional and engaging story. The soundtrack goes hard, and of course, Chloe as a character is just iconic. So while this game is great, I had to put it at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Life is Strange 2, putting us in the shoes of Sean Diaz, as him and his little brother Daniel are put into a wild situation where during a conflict, the brother's father is offed by a Seattle police officer and said officer is killed in a freak accident. So the brothers are on the run from the law, trying to make it to Mexico, a town called Puerto Lobos. I'm probably saying that super wrong, but wherever their father is from, and they meet some interesting characters along the way. What's interesting about this game is you don't actually have the powers, it's your 9-year-old little brother that does. So while trying to play dad to your little super brother, you kind of have to keep him in check and keep his superpowers in check, as he is pretty dangerous with telekinesis powers. I feel like, from what I've seen, the fans weren't so happy with this game initially, but I think people are starting to come around. It's probably because we weren't Max or Chloe in this title, but I like the brothers. While Daniel is annoying at times, which makes sense since he's just a little kid, I love the road trip aspect, and the story is really good, but a little depressing to be honest. But actually, most of these games are pretty depressing, but it's just emotional. But the gameplay is fun and simple, and as per usual with these games, the soundtrack just goes off. And this game probably has some of the best side characters in the whole series. You know, Brody, my boy Brody, come on. So if you strayed away from this title for whatever reason, I highly recommend this game. It's fun, it's emotional, and almost has this like nostalgic vibe to it, so yeah. Coming in at number 2 is Life is Strange True Colors, the newest game in the franchise as of this video. In True Colors, we take the role of Alex Chen, a special young lady that moves to Colorado to be with her brother, whom she hasn't seen in years, but sadly, shortly after arriving, her brother Gabe is killed in an accident trying to save one of the local kids. With nowhere else to go, Alex stays in the town, and she smells foul play, so she kind of goes on this like investigation to find out what really happened. Was it an accident? Because essentially, like, when they were going to save the kid, they were near one of the mines, and they were doing this, like, they were blowing up one of the mines, and they even radioed it in and said, don't blow up the mines, we have a kid up there, we're gonna get him, and it blew up anyway, and that's how Gabe dies. So, just for starters, this game is gorgeous. I mean, all the games are, but this small mining town is so comfy. I want to live here. So, it's a beautiful game. And most of these games have a great atmosphere, in my opinion. So to uncover the mystery behind her brother's death, she uses her powers of, well, is it empathy? For the most part, call it. She can see people's moods or feelings and can even take them from people. She can see if someone's scared or mad or sad. It's an interesting power. I don't know how to describe it, but it's actually pretty cool. But like all the other games, super emotional, but so good. And of course, the soundtrack just slaps every time. This is the best looking game graphically and plays relatively the smoothest, which makes sense since it's the most recent title. Alex is a great character, and the side characters are pretty great as well, and there's even a returning character from Before the Storm, which I love to see. This game is beautiful, and I highly recommend it. So number 1. As if there was any doubt, it's the original Life is Strange. It's gotta be, right? This game, to me, is lightning in a bottle. While the gameplay isn't groundbreaking and the graphics aren't nothing, game-changing, this game is beautiful, and the story is a roller coaster. That the dynamic between Max and Chloe is perfect, and the story keeps you reeled in from start to finish. You are Max, a student at Blackwell Academy going to school for photography, returning to Arcadia Bay after 5 years. But Max, like all the others, is special. She has the power to rewind time and even change the past through photos, but in doing so, she causes this chaos theory kind of chain of events. She has these visions of this storm coming. So after reuniting with her best friend Chloe, the friends go on a journey to find out how to stop the storm and find Chloe's missing friend Rachel. There's so much going on there. Those are the two main plot points, but there's so many things going on in this story, and it's never overwhelming. It's kind of the perfect storm, pun intended. This game is gorgeous, from the graphics to the perfect soundtrack, and I mean perfect soundtrack. This game is a masterpiece, and is still at least in my top 5 favorite games of all time. And if for whatever reason you've never tried it, I can't recommend it enough. I hope we get to see Max down, in another game somewhere down the line, or even Chloe, depending on when. I won't say that. No spoilers. I don't want to be too spoilerish. This game is special, at least to me. It came into my life at the perfect time, and it's a game I play with my wife frequently, as well as the whole series, but this game in particular is my number 1. So that's my ranking of the Life is Strange series. There isn't a single bad game here, so if you haven't played any of these games for whatever reason, I don't think I spoiled it too much. Go treat yourself. Go play these games. Beautiful storytelling, breathtaking soundtracks, and some of the greatest characters and places, or worlds, in gaming, in my opinion, for a smaller scale game, if you will. But anyways, this is just my list, and I want to know yours. Let's talk Life is Strange in the comments. What's your favorite character? What's your favorite game? Favorite part of aspects of the story? Let's talk, video games in the comments. But that's all I got for you today. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe for more stuff I have done. But anyways, thanks for coming, and thanks for watching.